I, 24 female, was dating my 27 male ex-boyfriend for 2 years. Last year, we started talking about getting married if we wanted to stay in the state regular future stuff the past few months. I've tried to bring up engagement rings, time frames, and he doesn't seem interested at all. He juts me down and says, we have enough time. He was once so excited about it, which brings me to 2 weeks ago he sat me down, and out of the blue, he asked about a polyamory and that he thinks it'll be good for us so we can build our bond closer. I'm like, how does bringing someone else in a relationship for you work on us? And he goes, she wouldn't interfere with us. Jess knows I love you, and I want to get married to you. She will bow out at any moment. Jess is a girl he's known since they were in middle school. She recently started working at his company, and I guess their friendship has rekindled. I got up and went to pack a bag. He asked me what I was doing, and I told him I was done. He started panicking and saying it was a joke. She was interested in one, but he wasn't. I didn't want to hear it anymore. He asked why was I freaking out, and I told him, I know how this goes. You randomly bring up polyamory. You've already cheated, or you're going to cheat if I say no, so I'm done. I left to go back to my place. I'm working on my master, so I decided to keep my apartment to study even after we moved in. And I was going to move in permanently 2 months before I graduated because my lease would be over. He was blowing up my phone and telling me he's sorry. Then he'd flip to calling me all types of nasty names, to I should have had sex with her when I had a chance. I blocked him. He showed up at my place 2 days later, begging me to come back. I asked him to let me search his phone, and his face went pale. He let me check. And he was good at deleting things, but not deleting what he deleted. They were flirting. He brought it up after she got feelings for him, and he felt bad. So he told her I'd be okay with an open relationship. Surprise, surprise. I told him to get out, and I'm done. Our mutual friends, I should say only 3 people, 3 were my friends, and the other 4, and him I met through my best friend's brother. No one was on my side, except my best friend, her girlfriend, and my best friend's brother, all telling me I'm overreacting. And it was just a suggestion, and a suggestion doesn't mean he's cheated or is going to cheat, and a lot of people open up their relationships. I told them when we got together it was clear I was looking for a monogamous relationship and partner, and he feels like I'm not enough, and I won't wait to find out in 5 years that he's been cheating, and I have to go through divorce. I told him if any of them bring up to me after this, I'll cut contact with them too. I've gotten a few comments in my post saying that I'm shaming people who are poly. I'm not doing that. I said it's not something for me. I'm monogamous and want a monogamous relationship and a partner. I made that clear from the beginning that I did not want an open poly relationship. And cheating was a deal breaker for me. And he messed up both of those at one time if having multiple partners is for you. And that works for you. I'm glad that it works for you. I'm not trying to shame anyone out of it. This is just personally not for me. Also, it's way more than he wanted a poly relationship or just thought it up. He was already cheating on me, and then he already had someone in mind wanting to explore that option. He would have came to me and said, I want to try this. Not just says she, because if this is something that you randomly started wanting to explore, you wouldn't have a person in mind already. That's not how you bring up wanting to bring in more partners. You don't cheat and then try to manipulate the situation, so your partner's okay with it. And now some feedback from the community. First up, good for you. Just tell him he is free to be with Chess now or any other girl. He got what he wanted, so he should be happy. You'll find someone who considers you enough. You deserve nothing less. Get rid of the friends who don't support you. Someone else chimes in. I don't know if I'm more disappointed in the boyfriend or the lack of support from your friend. Get over it. Your overreacting mindset triggers the F out of me. Do they not understand that he was already emotionally cheating the moment he started flirting and encouraging a sexual relationship with the other woman girl? You handled that situation like a freaking queen. Love it. The classic let's spice up our relationship by adding a third wheel move. If I wanted a threesome, I'd have ordered pizza. Kudos to you for having the backbone to pack your bags and leave the dumpster fire of a relationship. It takes guts to walk away from someone who thinks commitment is just a word in the dictionary, and those friends they sound like about as useful as a screen door on a submarine. Who needs them? Certainly not you. So here's the purging the poison from your life, whether it's in the form of a deceitful boyfriend or a squad of unsupportive spectators. May your circle be small but mighty, filled with people who lift you higher, instead of dragging you down into the depths of drama. Do you think Op blew it up out of proportion? Have you ever been in a similar situation? Share your thoughts with us in the comments below. Up next, Op divorces his wife for trying to turn their marriage into a game of hide and seek. Am I the a-hole for calling divorce immediately after finding out my wife emotionally cheated on me? I found out my wife was cheating on me emotionally. Last week I found it through a notification when she was in the shower. We were both 33 and married for 6 years, in my eyes. Everything was good. Funny how one can hide their betrayal without the other party noticing. I confronted her right away and told her to open the phone to show me the messages she refused first, but gave up after I told her we were getting a divorce. The texts were not that old, and there were not that many. It was obvious most of the texts were deleted. I asked her questions about the affair. Why, who, where, how? I will not go into the details as I wanted it to stay anonymous, but I was trickle-truthed in the end. She got caught and trickle-truthed me. I do not believe her. And what she said about the extent they went at the beginning of our relationship, I made it very clear that cheating in any form is a relationship. Enda, I told her to get a lawyer. Because we are getting divorced, she asked for marriage counselling, promised to change, and even make her life completely dependent on me. Leave the job, not leave the house, and give me all of her digital devices. I told her where marriage counselling would have helped was before she decided to have an affair, we could go to marriage counselling and solve the problem there by talking whichever problem she had. Instead, she went on to have an emotional affair and made sure to actively hide things from me by deleting texts and trickle-truthing. I reminded her of my boundaries and what I told her about them. In the beginning of the relationship, I will hand the divorce papers to her this month, and she's telling me to reconsider. Am I the a-hole in the situation? The op was not the a-hole based on the comments. Along with a few, you're the a-holes and n-a-holes now for some relevant comments. First one, not the a-hole, but you do seem to be rushing things. You might want to take a little while to think things through and let her feelings sit. What do you lose by waiting until the end of next month instead? To which the op replies, I do not have to wait an extra month and live in the same house with her. Someone else chimes in. If you made your boundaries very clear to her and you are sure that she broke them, why are you here? If you do go to marriage counselling, be prepared to hear some things about yourself that you might not want to hear. The op replies on one side, my logic wants to get validated, while my heart wants to hold on to a hope. Last week has not been easy for me. Love is there, but trust is not. Plus, getting to write it here is relaxing. I'll probably hear about these in the individual therapy. Thanks for the comment. Another person says, not the a-hole, but if the affair has been brief, what led up to it, this may require you to take a hard look at yourself. And the op responds. She told me she felt lost in the part of her life midlife crisis and wanted attention from others. One more person had this ad in my eyes. Everything was good. Funny how one can hide their betrayal without the other party. Noticing funny how the other partner can be super unhappy without the other noticing at all. Not an a-hole. And, this version of your marriage is over. Good for you to realize she chose to end it, the op replied. She told me she felt lost in her life and wanted attention from others. I do not think that's anything to do with unhappiness in the marriage, unless she lied. I guess you can never know the problem unless the other party communicates. Surprising, let's give credit. Where it's due, confronting the issue head-on takes courage. It's not easy to face a reality of infidelity. especially when you thought everything was peachy keen. And as for the marriage counselling plea and promises of change, well, it's a classic move when caught red-handed, but sometimes the trust is too shattered to piece back together, no matter how many apologies are offered. As for the rush to divorce, sometimes it's about self-preservation. Living under the same roof with the person who shattered your trust can feel like navigating a minefield in slippers. So no op, you're not the a-hole here. You're just someone who's setting boundaries and choosing to prioritize your own well-being. And that's something worth applauding. Update, it's 100% divorce. Now I think I was looking to relax and validate my logic with that post. Love is there, but trust is broken. My heart told me to have a hope, but my logic told me to divorce logic W. In the end, it has been over a week now, and I still do not get the full information about the affair. Yesterday night and this morning, after the post, I came to learn new information about the affair. I'm still not sure if it's the full extent to clarify the emotional affair part. They sent nudes to each other, and there were I love yous involved. If it's not cheating, I don't know what it is. Whatever, I still do not know the full truth, and she refuses. Disclosing who exactly this affair partner is, my trust level for her is so low that she could say, the sky is blue, and I would doubt it. This relationship is just over dead. I will go ahead and with the divorce as soon as possible so I can process my feelings alone after she leaves. Some people told me I would not be able to find anyone at 33 as a male. This is the last thing I worry about with after divorce. First thing is to get over the relationship and put myself together better than ever. I'm planning on starting individual therapy right after I sort things out. I can date after that easily. Hope seeing you with a happy divorce update. And in a better mood now for some other relevant comments first. One, making that decision and sticking to it is very difficult. You've made the first step, and that's amazing. You probably will never find out the full truth. I'm divorcing my wife now for very similar circumstances. You'll find someone else at 33. There's literally billions of fish in the sea. The op responds. I totally agree. 33, looking good, feeling good, earning good, attentive. I think people who told this are insults and they are projecting their situation. Someone else has this to say, good on you for making a decision. Honestly, the nudes are for sure divorce-worthy. And you are right in getting a divorce, even if there was no sex. She was clearly wanting it to be physical, if there were nudes involved. So I'm glad you found the truth and are deciding to do what's best for you by getting a divorce from the woman you clearly can't trust. The op replies, I believe trust is the foundation of human relationship. It's just impossible for me to get back from this. I love her, and it deeply hurts now, but I do not believe I will ever trust her. One more last comment. She won't tell you who affair partner is, but you have his nude pic. He sent your wife that should help identify him. The op replies, I do not have the photos, but just the replies to them. Photos were deleted. It's obvious there were nudes involved, but all of them were deleted. Who needs trust when you've got a treasure trove of half-truths and deleted nudes to sift through? It's like a scavenger hunt for the emotionally scarred, deciding to call it quits when trust is shattered. Beyond repair takes a strength not everyone possesses. It's like ripping off a Band-Aid. It's painful at first, but ultimately freeing. And let's not forget the importance of self-respect by choosing to walk away. You're saying I deserve better in the loudest possible way, because let's face it, nobody deserves to be stuck in a relationship where loyalty is as rare as a unicorn sighting. What would you have done? Do you think op jumped a gun?